Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Girlfriend Experience podcast. I'm your host, Lydia Love. If you are watching the visual version of this podcast, which is available on YouTube, I want to address a couple things. I'm currently in my cam room, and if you are just a audio listener, which is on Spotify or hopefully Apple Podcasts soon, you're probably wondering why the sound quality isn't as great. And that's because the studio that I actually recorded my first episode in is under construction. So of course I started off on a super high note and then the quality kind of went to shit, but hey, we're here. I apologize for it. I promise in a couple weeks we're going to be back on track. But for now, just forgive me and listen to what I'm bringing you, even though the quality isn't as great as it could be. We're here. I hope that you guys are all having a great day. Another little side note for my visual listeners is that the lighting in this room is awful right now, and that's because I'm recording this at 2 a.m. This is probably TMI. I was planning on recording tomorrow, but I got a notification from my period tracking app that said I'm supposed to start my period tomorrow, and that usually means that I'm going to be absolutely useless all day tomorrow. And I also feel like I'm getting a sore throat. I really hope I'm not getting the flu that's going around everywhere right now. So yeah, I just wanted to knock this out, and you guys are getting very authentic, tired, real Lydia today, and what are podcasts for? You're supposed to see the worst parts of me, right? So there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Don't worry, I gathered some Reddit posts for you guys. I was laughing my ass off while I was going through posts just now, trying to find some for you. But I wanted to get into a couple topics first, and I'm trying to think should we start off with the little heavier shit? Should we start off on a good note? I think we're just gonna get this over with, okay? So Thanksgiving was this last Thursday, obviously. And if you're in America, I hope that your holiday was okay. So I went back home for a holiday for the first time since the pandemic. I mean, we're still in the pandemic, but now that I'm double vaccinated, I felt like, okay, I can see my family. It's been a while. And so I went home for the holidays, and I guess we'll get a little personal. A lot of my family does not get along, but they all get along with me, which is probably a good thing, right? And so I ended up going to 4 different houses. The first day I was in town, I went and saw 2 people. The next day I went and saw 2 people because my family is just so divided. But obviously I love them all so much, so I saw them all. It was fucking draining. It was draining, and I was forced to deeply reflect about who I am and the path that I've been on the last couple years. And it was just really strange for me, and I like to keep a lot of things private, but I also like to share things with you guys, and I feel like this is the platform to do so. There's a good amount of my family that I don't like to spend a lot of time with, specifically because they kind of remind me of who I used to be, and I hope that that doesn't sound judgmental or anything, because they're all really great people. I was just close to them when I was at my worst, and it's really hard for me to want to be around them, because when I am around them I feel myself kind of sinking into that place, or I don't know, I just feel myself acting like who I used to be, and it's a weird feeling, and I'm probably having a hard time explaining this right now, but I hope that someone out there can relate to the feelings of that. But it was also really good for me to remember who I am, where I came from, driving through the neighborhood that I spent a lot of time in high school in. It was weird for me, but it was also humbling to kind of go back to that place and go back to me. And I feel like I've changed so much as a person, especially in the last couple years. It's absolutely insane. January will be 1 year of me doing therapy once a week, which is that's a lot. For any of you that are in therapy once a week, I feel like you get it. That is a lot of self-growth and reflecting and speaking about how I'm feeling. I feel like it's just changed me so much more than a lot of life events have. And And it's really weird seeing the change come from within me and like realizing like, hey, you need to unlearn these habits and you need to heal these parts of you. And then going back and visiting family for the holidays, you're faced with all these parts of yourself that you're like trying to get rid of and trying to work on and trying to like break the generational curses. So yeah, that was interesting. I got back to LA and I laid in the bath and I just had like this weird feeling where like I was laying in the bath and I felt like the same person that I was back in 2017, like in my first apartment, like in the middle of nowhere, Texas, just like sad, honestly, like just like so sad and just like alone and just like wanting so badly to reach my goals, like wanting so badly to have money to like go out to eat. And like even though like I've reached all my goals and then some, like laying in the bath by myself, I was like weirdly surrounded with just this feeling of like I'm still that girl. Like I'm still that girl, and I don't want to like go off too far on a tangent. I'm sorry, guys. But it was just interesting, and I think the point of my little rant there at the top of the episode was just like going back and visiting family can be hard, and probably not gonna go back for Christmas. I think like I love my family so much, but I think that was great, and I had a lot of enjoyable time with them, but you know? Okay, moving on. That went on longer than I wanted it to. I wanted to talk about catfishes. If you're not familiar with what a catfish is, if you live under a fucking rock, a catfish is someone that makes a fake account using someone else's pictures and they scam people, whether it's for attention or money or whatever. Catfishes of me are going absolutely insane, and I feel like it's like really in the last month. And for a long time, I just kind of ignored them. I was just like, whatever, like, this is stupid. Like, if anyone falls for someone whose name is, like, Amanda Diaz 0952, then, like, that's their fucking problem. But it's getting to the point to where it's, like, something needs to be done. And, okay, I wasn't paid to plug them. Like, they haven't paid me at all. But shout out to Brandit Scan, because they helped me get rid of all my stolen videos. And they help with catfishes, too, which has been great. But there's still a major problem, okay? There's like hundreds of catfish accounts of me, and this guy, he would never listen to this, so I'm just gonna talk about it. So this guy who I used to be friends with for like years, he's a DJ to an artist, and him and I stopped talking because he got a girlfriend, which is fine. Like, whenever guys that I know get girlfriends, I'm never like mad. I'm never like, oh my god, why did you unfollow me? Because I kind of get it. I'm like, hey, I'm not sucking your dick. She is. Like, whatever makes her feel comfortable, unfollow me. That's fine. If you want to be friends again in the future, like, that's fine. You're not my boyfriend. I don't care. So I haven't heard from him in a long ass time, and he texted me a link to a escort site using my pictures in like Miami, Florida. It was super out of the blue, and he basically said that he was out there, you know, searching, and he somehow found a fake account of me. And I'm just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm on so many escort sites, and look, I'm not one of those cam girls that are like, oh my god, why would you ask me if I escort? Like, that doesn't offend me, but like currently do not, and I'm like not on any sites, so it's so weird that there's so many of me. There's another part to this where there's a catfish out there like legitimately convincing people that we're dating. And that's fucking dangerous for me, because I'm getting a lot of DMs from guys being like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? Because I'm dating this girl named Kimberly, and they're sending me these full details about how like they've been scammed and how they thought that I was their girlfriend and wanted to start a life with them. And I'm just like, dude, I watermark my pictures. Like, you could have just zoomed in. They want me to feel bad for them, but like, I can't. Like, I'm too busy feeling bad for myself. Like, I wish that they were more willing to look into the pictures or like find the real me, zoom in, like see if my watermarks are there. But a lot of them just want to believe it so badly. They don't really care to look for the details, and they're on their own at that point. Like, I can't help. But there's this one guy who I found on TikTok, and he was making a ton of TikToks about me, basically like talking shit about me, but then like commenting on my TikToks and being like, oh my God, I love you. What happened to this man is someone was catfishing him on a texting app, and then he found my real TikTok and was like, what the fuck? So he's making videos, leaving me comments being like, what the hell, you're lying, like, you don't live in Florida and you don't have a daughter and you're not poor and like all of these things. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't have a kid. I don't live in Florida. Like, this is clearly the real me. And he's sending me these messages being like, how do I believe that it's not actually the real you? Like, the person on this texting app is telling me that you gave your account to management and they're just like lying and like they stole your account. And I'm just like, I'm fucking verified on Instagram. Like, I'm verified on Instagram. I have all of these accounts and you're refusing to believe. So then I just gave up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to block him. He joins my OnlyFans with the same shit and it's just like, I'm sorry. Like, I just can't believe this. Like, I know it's not your fault. And then the next day he's like, there's no way it's not you. Like, how would this person have these pictures of you? I'm like, dude, I've been on the internet in this way since I was 18 years old. They're gonna have some pictures of me. So this man is like going back and forth between being like apologetic towards me and being really pissed at me and not believing me to believing me. And it's just like, ugh, this is stressing me out. I block him. I block him on OnlyFans. He joins my Fansoda. I block him on Fansoda. He joins my website. And he's like actually spending money on my website. Like, he's buying the videos. Like, he's leaving comments. He's leaving messages. But while he's spending money, which I'm thankful for, he's also leaving me these messages like, hey, my phone broke and like, I know you don't care. And then another one where he's like, I know it's not the real you. And it's just like, please just believe that it's not me. It does make me a little sad for guys that fall for this because like you can tell they have so much hope in them that like someone like me would want to spend my life with them, that they refuse to accept reality. And at that point, that does make me a little sad for them because it's clear that these catfishes are preying on people that are like easily hurt in this way. But at the same time, like, it's hurting me. I say this all the time and like you'll hear me say it so much. There's nothing more dangerous than a man that feels like he's owed something. So like, what happens if someone like this guy refuses to believe that it's not me and then something happens? Like, it's a really fucked up situation. And like I said, as much as I want to feel bad for them, like, I kind of just feel bad for me. I guess this kind of ties into something else that I wanted to talk about, which is, God, how do I even like begin on this topic? I really want to do an interview with like a legit sugar baby so that we can talk about this together. I'm so sick. Like, TikTok, I didn't ask for this. I'm so sick of getting videos on my For You page of like 18-year-old girls telling people to go off and be sugar babies and telling people how to scam online and telling people how to scam sugar daddies and not have to give them any sugar. Like, I really feel like I need to discuss this with a guest. But if you are out there, any of you are out there, okay, and you have the intentions of scamming men online, please refer to my statement about how there is nothing more dangerous than a man that feels like he's owed something. Like, it's all fun and games, like getting the bag, running off with the bag until something fucking happens. And like, obviously nobody deserves to get hurt. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying like if you do that, you deserve to have something happen to you. But I'm saying maybe let's not play with fire. Like, I would hate for something to happen to any of you because you decided to plan a date with a guy and then not show up and take the money or something like that. I hope that nobody gets mad at me for saying this, but I just hate that these videos of girls like bragging about, oh my God, I just scammed a guy and made $2,000 are showing up on the For You pages of girls who are barely 18 or younger, using their real names on the internet, having their high schools and work and everything clearly out there. Like, that's fucking scary. I'm guilty of promoting the sugar baby lifestyle when I was young. Like, when I was 18, I thought it was so fucking cool that I could just pull up to a guy's work and he'd hand me $300. I definitely tweeted about that shit. But what I wasn't tweeting about was how that $300 was instantly gone to bills and I had to steal top ramen for dinner. Like, it's not what people make it out to be. And I really hope this doesn't sound like me shitting on sex workers, because that's not what I'm doing. Like, I think that we should also be allowed to share the highlights of our jobs, definitely, and we're not responsible for educating every single person. But if you're on TikTok, you know the kind of videos that I'm talking about, and they're so dangerous. Like, I see this one website getting promoted all the time, and I don't even know if I should say it, because I don't want people to use it. MGF, that's all I'm gonna say. Don't use it. Like, they personally scammed me. They have deleted people with no notice and taken all of their money. Like, they've stolen thousands from creators, but for some reason it's like the #1 website to promote on TikTok, which is funny because it was the first website I was on at 18. And I'm like, damn, they're still around, like, scamming these girls that are brand new to the industry with the help of TikTok now. And it's just kind of like, I hate to see it. I absolutely hate to see that. So there's my big sister advice of the week. Just, like, please be careful online. Like, people can be really dangerous, and if you're a man and you're listening, don't fucking fall for catfishes. Just stop it right now. You might as well just delete your Tinder because it's full of catfishes. Okay, is it time for the Reddit post? I think I've done enough talking. I would like to read these posts to you guys. I'm gonna pull them up. Now, I read these just a little bit, but I haven't even thought about what I want to say about them yet. So I'm going to form my opinions with you guys. This one says, am I crazy or is this a normal thing in relationships? I, 38 female, recently found out, among other things, that my partner, male, 33, has hidden the fact that he has been in contact with his ex-girlfriend for our whole relationship of 12 years. Okay, let me just... They've been dating for 12 years, and he's been in contact with his ex-girlfriend the entire time. Okay. He's never, ever mentioned this girl to me. The fact that he's kept in touch, talks to her whenever we are having problems. I've never inadvertently seen messages from her or her name on his phone when he's near me. He has admitted to finding her attractive still and keeping her hidden for that length of time. He says they're just friends and there's nothing there. For me, if there's nothing there and she's just a friend, then why have I never heard of her, and why does he hide her? He doesn't think that's that big of a deal. She's just never come up in 12 years. She says, am I crazy and overthinking this, or is this a normal thing? I actually think that I'm speechless. Sweetie. You guys are all thinking it. I know we're all thinking it. I know we are all thinking it. Okay? This isn't some couch guy shit, okay? The red flags are right there in front of us. He has hidden his ex that he finds attractive from you for 12 years. 12 years, okay? 12 years. She's never come up. You've never seen texts on his phone from her. And let me take a breather. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Oh my God. Do I even have to say my opinion, or have we all just concluded the fact that he is absolutely cheating on her? And, like, look, I'm not trying to make fun of her. Like, that's fucking sad. The fact that he kept it so locked down that you didn't even know for 12 years, like, that is fucking sad. And, like, it's gonna take time to heal from that shit. But the first thing you need to do is kick his ass out, because, like, I think my brain, it might be because it's the middle of the night, or it might be because this just fried my brain. That is so insane. And, like, I feel so sad for her. I don't even know what I would do in that position. Like, the fact that there was, like, no signs of it, it's just, like, out of left field. I can see if, like, you're dating someone and he has a girl best friend and you're like, what the fuck? Like, my guy best friend has my name tattooed on him, and when he dates girls and they don't like me, I'm just like, hey, I get it. Like, I don't want him, but I get it. This coming out of nowhere is like, oh, baby, that's... I'm looking at the comments right now, and she says, he makes me feel like I've been overreacting. And people are saying that she's a fallback, and she's thanking them for saying that. People are saying the only reason why I would keep in touch with an ex if I had feelings for them. I really hope that she leaves. And, like, that's really heartbreaking that she had to find out 12 years into a relationship. I'm sending you love, girl. This one I actually didn't finish reading. I read the title and I started laughing so hard I just included it in the show notes. It says, 28 male, my wife, 27 female, went to Las Vegas for a week with her friends and went to nightclubs without wearing panties. She said, this is normal. What should I do? I'm not trying to laugh at him because, like, I don't want to make fun of someone's insecurities, but just the way that it was worded is just so funny. Like, my wife didn't wear panties. Is this normal? So he writes, so we've been married for 3 years now. She took vacation off for the Thanksgiving week and went to Vegas with all her friends. All was fine until I saw a picture of her at the nightclub. All the trip photos their group took were uploaded to Google Photos, and I was in that group as well. There were videos and pics of my wife at this nightclub in Vegas, wearing a very tight and short club one-piece dress, which also had a huge slit on one side of the dress that shows almost everything. You can see her entire body, all bare skin from the side, from the legs, all the way up to below her chest. Not even mesh. It's literally a big slit, bare skin. And it was clear that she wasn't wearing any underwear. I mean, like, if you're wearing a dress that has, like, a huge-ass slit in it, yeah, you're not gonna wear panties. Like, how weird would that be if you had a slit dress and then you just had, like, granny panties on? In the video, she was also dancing on top of a table with a pole in the club, and it looked like almost anyone that was in the club could see everything in the clear view with how she was dancing. I've never seen her like this before. I asked her about this just today as she's still in Vegas, and she got mad at me for even mentioning it. She said this is normal, and almost every girl that goes to nightclubs to dance wears nothing underneath since it doesn't look good on certain dresses. She also said that the fact that I'm bringing it up is wrong, as if it's embarrassing to their group since everyone else thinks I'm being overprotective, and she doesn't want me to become that type of guy. We didn't have a long conversation, and she's still there and isn't back until tomorrow night. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting on this or if I'm just being too stubborn. Okay, so I probably shouldn't have immediately laughed about it. That title was just kind of funny. Now look, I want to say, like, girl, fuck him, like, go dance in the club, like, do whatever. But I do have to say, like, he mentioned that she doesn't show this side of herself to him and that he's shocked by it. That's kind of a red flag to me, and obviously I don't know every detail of their relationship through a Reddit post, but in my head I'm like, okay, so she's like down to wear like slit dresses and go out with her friends and like dance with no panties on. Like, why hasn't she shown this side to you? Like, does she feel like she can't? Do you make her feel like she can't show this side of herself? Is she hiding things from you? Like, there's two sides to the coin. So I feel like that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. Men, newsflash, some outfits just don't look good with panties, and so we ditched the panties. Totally normal. Like, I don't think that that means that she's cheating or being sketchy at all. I do think that your wife dancing in the club with no panties randomly is a little cause for concern. And like I said, I want to be like, hey girl, do whatever you want. Like, fuck him. He shouldn't be mad at you. But also, like, you have to validate your partner's feelings. If he's not being mean to you and, like, freaking out and, like, calling you a slut, I do think that you can be like, hey, baby, like, and explain it in a way that makes him feel validated and heard, but also in a way that lets him know, like, I was just doing a normal thing. Like, I was just out with the girls. We were having fun. I would say the biggest issue is the fact that, like, she hasn't shown you this part of her. But please let me know what you guys think. I obviously don't believe that my opinion is the only correct opinion in the world. I could be wrong. I could be interpreting this completely wrong. You might be wondering why I'm solo again when I said that I had guests lined up, and that is because I do have guests lined up, but I haven't wanted to release those episodes yet because I'm actually going out of town for like all of December, and I'm super excited about it. But I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss a single week while I was gone. So I saved a couple episodes. Like, for example, next week I'm having my friend Layla Lewis on, and we talked about some crazy shit. So excited for that. And I'm really excited for my trip. Like, I never take that much time off. I'm constantly in work mode. December is usually my best month financially of the year, which I have no idea why. Like, everyone says it's the worst, but I usually do really good in December for some reason. And I'm sacrificing that to kind of like go off and live life. I'm going to be in nature for a couple weeks. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to spend New Year's with my best friends, and I'm just so excited for it. I'm hoping that I can kind of like schedule everything to just like release and schedule posts that I can really be detached. I'm actually considering deleting social media apps from my phone, which is like, I've never done that before, and just using them on my laptop so that I'm not so attached to them. So that should be interesting. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram if you want to like keep up with those things. Another little update is that I'm going to be closing down my clothing store for the month. Of course, I do want to talk about some sex work stuff a little bit. I feel like I'm at like a weird crossroads in my career right now where I'm really trying to figure out what feels good to me. And I hate to talk about money because I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm making more money than I ever have. So that's not necessarily my issue. I just feel like I don't have one specific thing that is like really driving me, that is like my huge breadwinner site. I was looking at one of my platforms and I was looking at my pay to view messages, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically like you send out a photo, $5, and people can unlock. And I was looking at, I had scheduled posts for the week, and I was looking at how much money I made from the time that I spent scheduling posts for that platform. And I was getting like no sales. Like on my pay to views, I was getting like one sale here, like some of them zero, like a lot of them zero. And it was so discouraging. Let me just preface this by saying that like I'm gonna sound like a huge brat when I say this, but there is a part of me that is like, fuck this. Like they don't deserve me. Like I'm sending this content, I'm taking time out of my day to schedule these posts, and they're not unlocking them. Look, I know I sound like a little crybaby. It just kind of gets to me for some reason, and I don't know if that's just me being sensitive. Like I mentioned, I am about to start my period, but it really bothered me, and I'm just like, I want to find like what feels really good. And by me saying this, I hope that you guys aren't taking it as me feeling like I'm not happy with my job, because I absolutely am. Like if I wasn't, I'd be like, bye, deleting my Twitter. It was fun. But I just want to feel like overall passionate about something. Like I just want to feel passionate about one specific website, and then everything else can follow. I will say, like, I do feel that way about camming. It's just really hard for me to have the time to be live every day. Like I just don't have it. Like some days I'm like doing a million things and I don't have 4 hours to spare being live and present and focusing on one thing. And that might just be because I have insane ADHD. I just feel like I'm at a weird phase, and like I'm really fucking excited to take this trip in December and just kind of like check out and come back and feel cleansed. Like I'm probably talking really negative right now, and I hate that, but I'm also the type of person where when I take time and come back to something, I feel way better. And so a month from now, you guys might see me with a little halo over my head, coming back from microdosing shrooms in nature, and I might just be preaching about how much I fucking love every aspect of my job, and I love every website, and everything just feels so good. But right now, I'm just in a really weird phase, and that's okay. I wanted to kind of vent to you guys at the end of the episode about this, because I know that not everyone listening can relate. But if you can, definitely like drop me a comment or a DM, because I would love to hear from you. I've been doing this for 5 years now. Oh my God. I've been doing this for 5 years now. That's weird. January will be 6 years since I first logged on to a cam site, which is like, because my first time ever camming was like a couple days after my 18th birthday. I got off my shift at Taco Bell and was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. The episode is kind of everywhere. Maybe I should have waited a little longer before I let you guys meet me at 2 a.m., but here it is. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm trying to think of things that I can plug before I go, but honestly, I'm so tired. I think I'm just gonna make some tea and go to bed. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it as always. Make sure to follow me, turn your post notifications on wherever you're listening, rate me 5 stars, leave me a comment, like, please do all of that stuff. Your feedback means so much to me, and I will see you guys in next week's episode. Please be safe, drink water, wear condoms, do all that good shit, and good night, everyone. I'll see you next week.